Thank you so much for joining us today and giving us the opportunity to share information with you that we strongly believe you will find highly valuable as you embark on the exciting journey of homeownership. My name is Carla Gushing, and I'm with KG Legacy Group at Keller Williams Advantage 2, and we are based out of Orlando, Florida. Now, we understand there are thousands of agents out there that you could be having this conversation with, and we certainly don't take for granted that we get to be the ones to inform you about the home buying process. We put together information for you that we'd like to share in hopes that you'll have a better understanding about what to expect when you get ready to purchase a home. Now, this packet of information will be available to you after the video. What I'd like to do first is I'd like to introduce you to our business partners. We've got Betsy Sanabria, who is our buyer specialist. We've got Mary O'Neill, who is our transaction coordinator and customer care associate. And we've got Teresa Ciballero, who provides listing and administrative support. Now, as our team grows, it's very likely that you'll end up meeting more agents and associates. This is just some of the services that we provide. We are able to help you find your next home. We're able to help you consult on tactics for selling your house, and many more. So right here, we've got the home buying process, and we're going to primarily focus on this page. As you can see, this attachment is 29 pages, and yet we're not going to go over every single page. And so we'll focus on this page and we'll cover a few more. And as you can see, the very first step to the home buying process is to get pre-qualified. This is essentially when your lender is going to take a look at your income, your credit score, any revolving debts, obligations such as child support or alimony. Once your lender has taken a look at those aspects, they'll be able to formulate an amount, which is what we call your purchasing power. You'll also be able to understand your interest rates and what your monthly payments could be at any given price point. Once you have identified what your purchasing power is, now the next step is to make a wish list. This is essentially when we talk about your criteria. What type of house are you looking for? Where are you looking for? How many bedrooms, bathrooms, and additional features? So essentially, we'll cover your must-haves and we'll identify what things could be a deal breaker for you. Then you'll determine whether you want to hire a real estate agent. And just so you know, having a real estate agent working for you in the state of Florida doesn't cost you anything. So you should definitely take advantage of having a professional represent what could be one of the biggest purchases in your life. Once you have selected your agent, the next step is to start the process of visiting homes. Now keep in mind, no home is perfect, so don't let those little things deter you if you truly are interested. Once you find a home, the next step will be to make an offer. This is when we tend to see buyers sort of take a step back because some buyers feel like making an offer is the final stage to acquiring their home. And yet it's really not. Making an offer is just a formal way of letting the seller know that you are interested in their house. Once you present your terms to the seller would then have to accept your terms. If that's the case, you would then be fully executed. Now, if for any reason the seller doesn't accept your terms, they may send you a counteroffer, at which point you'll have the opportunity to review those terms and decide whether you accept them or whether you want to continue negotiating. Once you have officially gone under contract, the next stage is to get an inspection. The contract will allow a certain amount of days for your inspection, and you can outline how many days you'd like as well. Now, your inspection period is essentially your period to inspect and cancel if for any reason you find that the home's condition is not favorable for you. Some buyers, however, take advantage of the inspection period to negotiate repairs, if any. In essence, 1 out of 5 things is going to end up happening during the inspection period. 1, you'll either accept the home in its as-is condition, or 2, you may ask the seller to make repairs, if any. If the seller doesn't want to do any repairs, that leads us to your third option, which is to ask for a concession or a credit in lieu of how much it would cost to make those repairs. Or 4, you can ask for a price improvement on the house, again, equivalent to the amount of repairs. And 5, if nothing works for you and you totally don't want to move forward with the house, you can walk away. Once you have completed the inspection period, the next stage is to get an appraisal. Now, if you are a buyer who's purchasing a home with financing terms, know that it will be a lender requirement for an appraisal to be done on the property. And while everybody might have an opinion about the value of the home, the one who will determine the true value will be the appraiser. So then you might be asking yourself, well, what happens if the house appraises for more than what I offered? If that's the case, congratulations, because you're getting ready to purchase a home with equity. Nothing changes. Now, if the appraisal was to come in below the amount that you offered, we then go back to the negotiating table and make an attempt to get the seller to move forward at the appraised value. Now, one of the steps that you are not seeing here, and however it's very important, your last contingency will be to obtain loan approval from your lender. Once your lender has reviewed all of your income, all of your assets, has verified your work, has essentially looked for skeletons in the closet, if all checks out, the next stage will be for you to do your final walkthrough on your house and go to closing. And that's when you will become a homeowner. All right, so you've got lots more information in this booklet that you will have access to, so definitely take some time and review the information that's on there. What I'm gonna do now is I am gonna jump to page 20. So each Keller Williams office is independently owned and operated, and each real estate agent that works at Keller Williams is an independent contractor. Within Keller Williams, these independent contractors have the opportunity to formulate real estate teams. So today I'm going to discuss our disclosures from our broker, and we'll go over the disclosures from our team. Now, if you don't end up working with a Keller Williams company and you end up working with a different Keller Williams or a different real estate company, know that that real estate company may have their own disclosures as well. So it's definitely important to get familiarized with those. Now, this is what our broker wants us to address. Buyer. If you are going to obtain a mortgage loan to purchase your home, make sure that you truly understand all of your numbers. Have that conversation with your loan officer. Ask them about your interest rate. Ask them about monthly payments. Ask them what kind of fees should they anticipate paying at closing, and how much are your closing costs and down payment. Seller's property disclosure statement. In the state of Florida, the real estate law requires that all sellers provide notice to buyers of things that they know are defective within their home that could affect the material value of the house. So it's very important that once you find a property, make certain that your agent provides you the seller's property disclosure so that you can be familiar with any material defects. Building inspection. So just so you know, it's very possible that you may walk into a home and you may feel like this home is completely ready to move in. Everything has been redone, renovated, it looks great. And you may say something like, do I really need to do an inspection on this house, or can I just save the money that it would cost to get an inspection? Know that we will never ever recommend that you don't do an inspection on your house. We will always recommend it. In fact, if for any reason you choose not to do an inspection, we'll present you with a waiver. Just know that the inspection period, that's the time where the inspector can look beyond the walls and can look for things that may not be readily visible to you. They can get on the roof, they can go in the attic, they can check the air conditioning, all sorts of things, and let you know if anything is defective. Now, again, no house is going to be absolutely perfect. Okay, there might be little cosmetic things that you may not necessarily like, and yet we're going to recommend that you focus on those big ticket items such as the roof, the electricity, the plumbing, the structure, and the air conditioner. We're also going to recommend that you get a termite inspection. Now, with a termite inspection, that's how you're able to determine if the house has any wood decaying organisms. And if they do, then that's definitely something that you can either negotiate with the seller, or depending on the extent of the damage, you may opt to not move forward with the property. Property information. So we will always share the property information as it has been made available to us. We'll even let you know how much the property taxes are, and we'll talk about home warranty. Now, home warranty is not the same as homeowner's insurance. With a home warranty, this is actually an added protection plan that you can purchase for the major components of your house. Typically, home warranties last for about 12 to 13 months, depending on your home warranty company, and it's only a one-time fee. You can either opt to ask the seller to provide a home warranty for you as a concession, or you can purchase a home warranty for yourself. Now, it's very important that you become familiarized with the items that are included within a home warranty and the items that are not included. So we always recommend that you get familiarized with the exclusions. School zones. If you know that schools are important for you and you're looking to live in a particular school district, let us know and we'll make certain that we give you the resources that will help you identify which school is assigned to a particular house. Sexual offenders. Now, if you know that it is an absolute deal breaker for you to live directly next to a sex offender, whether they live directly to your right or to your left, across the street or behind you, if you know it's a deal breaker, one of the things that we'll recommend is that you scrub the property to the state's sex offender website. This way, if you do end up seeing that a registered sex offender lives near your house and it's a deal breaker, that'll help you avoid time invested in viewing the house, and then you end up going to the house and you fall in love with it. And so if you already know that it's a no-no, then we recommend that you scrub the address through the website. Now, keep in mind, in that website, you're only going to find sexual offenders that are registered. Unfortunately, it doesn't show us the ones that are not registered, and the reality is that they can be everywhere. I mentioned earlier that having a real estate agent represent you on the purchase of your house doesn't cost you anything. However, our broker has a fee of $395. Now keep in mind, this fee you do not pay for up front. This fee would become part of your closing costs. So whether you decide to work with Keller Williams or any other real estate company, it's important to know what fees the brokerage charges before you go into contract with them. And then compensation. Our compensation is actually taken care of by the agent that's representing the seller in our state. So for example, the seller and the agent, they have a listing agreement and there's a commission agreement in place as well. So the real estate agent turns around and tells the whole world, hey world, if you have a buyer interested in this home and they end up purchasing, this is the amount of commission that I'm paying on this listing. So you don't have to pay for your agent's commission. All right, so now that we've gone over our broker's disclosures, we'll move over into our team disclosures. And the first one here is the vendor recommendation statement. So, here at KG Legacy Group, we are very well connected. We have established so many relationships with different service providers throughout the year. And it's very possible that during our relationship, you may ask us for recommendations. And we'll be happy to make those recommendations to you. And yet, again, for us, it's just very important that you know that you don't have to use anyone that we recommend to you. You can use whoever you like. Because while we're committed to providing you an excellent experience, we can't control how other people react or how other people will treat you. So if at any point, anybody that we recommend to you isn't being nice, let us know. Under contract. Once we go under contract, our transaction coordinator will become your primary point of contact. They'll essentially become your liaison, and they will be in communication with every single person that's involved in the transaction and will ensure that we make it to the closing table successfully. Time is of the essence. Within your purchase agreement, you're going to have several contingencies that are going to be outlined, and each of those contingencies are going to have a time frame in which they'll have to be met. So it's just very important that anything that we do regarding one of your specific contingencies, that we do it within its allotted time frame. Because we know that time is of the essence and these contract deadlines are so important, during the transaction process, we're going to send you a form that outlines all of the dates that you should be on the lookout for. Now, communication with your lender, it's so important that you encourage your lender to keep us informed about your financing process in the event that you were to encounter a roadblock. If the communication isn't there between your loan officer and your real estate agent, it's very possible that your real estate agent won't be able to help you navigate through any roadblocks should they occur. So we just highly recommend that you encourage the loan officer to have constant communication with your agent. Now, your loan approval period, this is one of the last contingencies that you will have to satisfy. So 3 days prior to the end of your loan approval period, we'll get together and we'll talk about what conditions do you have left outstanding to satisfy. And the reason we do this is because if you have any conditions within your loan that are just impossible to meet, and you just know that you're not going to be able to provide a solution for them or justify them or whatnot, then it may not be in your best interest to continue on with the transaction, at which point we may recommend that you back out. Now, if all of your contingencies have been met and everything is looking great, then you can move past your loan approval period. The reason all of these dates are so important is because once your contract is accepted on your home, one of the very first contingencies will be to make an escrow deposit. This is essentially a good faith deposit that lets the seller know that you are serious about purchasing their home. Generally speaking, escrow deposits can be anywhere from $1,000 to about 1% of the purchase price, whichever amount is greater. So for simple math purposes, if you're purchasing a home for $200,000, your escrow deposit could be anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. Now, what happens to this money? This money is actually held by either a title company or a real estate attorney. Now, that money will accompany your balance to close. So if your closing costs are approximately $5,000 and you have already deposited $1,000 in escrow, your balance to close is $4,000. And because your money is so important and keeping your interest safe is so important to us, we have put together an illustration here that lets you know at which point your escrow deposit stands to be safe and at which point it could be at risk. So from the start of your loan application deadline to the end, your escrow deposit is safe. From the start of your inspection period to the very end date, your escrow deposit is safe. Appraisal period, end date, loan approval period, end date. As you can see, once we pass the expiration of your loan approval period and we head toward closing, if for any reason you back out during this period, I'm not saying that you will lose your escrow deposit. I'm saying your escrow deposit could be at high risk, and the seller could make a claim against it for liquidated damages and lost opportunities. Because once you go under contract with a property, the seller is now saying they will not offer it to any other buyer, just you. All right, so these are just some of the basic documentations that a loan officer may ask from you, and we will be sure to share that list with you as well. Here are some of the most frequently asked questions that we get from buyers. Now, if at any point you have any questions and they're not available in this page, don't hesitate to give us a call. We are always happy to be of service. We'll be able to provide you information on lender resources and have you review some of our customer testimonials throughout the years. Now, as a token of our gratitude, one of the things that we offer here at KG Legacy Group, and this is completely complimentary, we offer a housewarming party after you close. We host the whole thing. We invite your friends, your family. If you want to meet your neighbors in the community, we'll invite them as well. And this is just a little way to celebrate your success. And for us to say thank you for choosing us at KG Legacy Group. Don't hesitate to give us a call if you have any questions at all. We are always happy to be of service. Thank you so much and have a great day.